Hello, my name is Matt Bird, and I want to welcome you to the PublishU podcast, where we explore the real life stories of authors from around the world. Today, I'm talking to Ian Lynam from Leicester, who has written a book called Everyday Faith. Welcome, Ian.
Hi, how you doing?
Very good, thank you. So tell us about you. What does your world look like?
um, Pretty much, I'm a grandfather of 11
Wow,
children.
11?
Yeah, had five of my own.
Gosh.
Married to beautiful Ruth. I pastor a church at Leicester. Um, for finances, I do gardening during the summer and build stages mostly for choirs in London.
Wow,
So
amazing. What a diverse life. Five kids, 11 grandkids, run a church, run a gardening stroke stage management business. Amazing.
yeah,
I
busy,
love
busy, busy.
absolutely. I love bivocational. Fantastic. So Ian, you've written a book, but let's come back to that. I mean, what inspired you to write a book?
It's been on the cards for well over 15 years. It's my brain works in such a way that when I hear subjects, I start thinking in terms of more information and chapters. But it was just, yeah, this is the time. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
Let's pick one of the ones I've written and work my way through it and do it
Sure.
properly
Yeah,
and
sure.
get it published.
So have you written a book about gardening, building stages, or church life? Which one?
Church life, church
Church
life.
life,
Well, faith life,
faith life.
faith life.
I mean, it's called Everyday Faith, so I guess it would be about all of that stuff, really, wouldn't it?
To some degree, yeah. It's about living your life out with a faith in God, in the realities of your own life, in what you have going on in your life.
Yeah,
It draws on my experience of living out a life of faith for over 40 years, the
yeah,
ups, the downs,
yeah,
the good times, the bad times.
yeah. So just grab hold of that for a moment, Ian. When was the high times? Tell us about one of the high moments in your journey of faith.
I think what I actually went to Bible college for a while,
Yeah,
so for 2 years, and my life was just beginning to get into balance just before I felt I should go.
yeah,
And it was quite a tremendous decision to think that that's what I was going to do.
yeah,
But being able to spend that time with other people who believed in the same things I did, being able just to spend time in prayer, um, and to get it to actually, as daft as it sounds, to get away from everyday life, really focused me on, yeah, God's been with me through everything I've gone through.
yeah.
And it really just highlighted that, in actual fact, some of the times which seemed the worst were the times when God was most with me.
Yeah.
Um,
So you've told us about a high point. Look, you've already mentioned it. Tell us specifically about a low time. When was your faith most vulnerable and challenged and weak?
I think one of the hardest times involved one of my children. You expect things to look a certain way when you believe in God. You think everything's going to be hunky dory and um, everything's going to run smoothly. And one of my lads ended up with a issue with his kidneys and ended up on dialysis. And it was a time when you just keep asking the question, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah.
Um, and it's not till after the story and later on you can actually see how God was in it and how he worked his way through it.
Yeah.
with
But
you
but at the time,
at the
you were
time.
kind of asking, "Where's God?"
Yeah, where's God in this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And on a daily basis, you were struggling in your faith.
yes, yeah, very much so. It's sort of like you don't want to see one of your own children suffering, and that's hard enough. But when you actually have a faith and you've been praying for them and you're believing for the good of what God can do,
Yeah.
when you do face these things, the first response is, where is God in this?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you do ask those questions and you
Yeah.
do question it,
Yeah.
but you actually grow as a result.
Yeah.
You realize more and more that God is actually there and
Yeah.
is going through it with you.
So in your book, Ian, Everyday Faith, give us one piece of really practical advice you give about everyday faith and knowing God in the everyday.
I think it's lean on Him. Really, really just trust that He is in control. Um, and that practically looks like surrendering and asking him and talking to him about the everyday things that you do. We quite often think we're capable of doing things, and those things we get on and do ourselves. But in actual fact, the more you actually involve him in those things you can do,
Hmm.
when you get to the things you can't do, you're more assured that he's going to be there helping you.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So, Ian, to write this book, you joined the Writing My Book course.
Yeah, very good.
How did you hear about the course?
Part of the life of being the pastor of a church, I went to a leadership event at a church down in Horsham, Kingdom Faith, and the two of the pastors there and a couple of other people had actually recently done the course and were talking about the books they'd written. And more or less got told I needed to do it.
There we go. Work with Matt Bird. And the course, Ian, what were the things about the course that you found really helpful?
I think the whole course itself is really helpful. The procedures and the ideas of how you get the information together and create it, the order you do it in, um, really cemented what this book was going to look like. Um, you giving us deadlines uh, meant that actually the book did get written, which I don't think it would had not there been those specific get this done, this done, this done. I don't think it would have happened.
Yeah.
But also being on a journey with what turned out to be the other men that were on the course was just a bonus because it's sort of you have to deal with your own issues, but actually seeing that you're not unique in them is
Yeah.
always a good thing. It's always
Yeah.
good to know that you're not alone.
Yeah.
So seeing other people and seeing where actually I'm not struggling with that, but they're struggling with that, and if they're coping with that, I can cope with that sort of thing is really beneficial.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
remember
certainly
I remember you
the
guys.
deadlines definitely helped.
Tough love, some people call
Yeah.
it. Oh, and Ian, now your book is like published, not just in the UK, but it's available globally. I mean, how does that feel?
There's a sense of relief
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it's done.
Woo!
Yeah, exactly. I'm really pleased. It's sort of like it's been something that has been there for 15 years. Um, and I'm already talking of this being my first. So it's sort of like it is, yeah, okay, then this process worked. There will be another one coming along. I'm chuffed to bits.
Yeah.
I just hope that actually some people read it and really benefit from it as well.
Yeah, yeah. And
So
that's going to be my next question, actually. What is your hope for what the book achieves?
I hope that it actually builds up some people's faith because like I say, having lived 40 years, having lived with God and lived with this faith, and um, knowing how much I've benefited from it, um, knowing how much success in my life, how much joy, how much peace has existed because of my faith. I want others to experience that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ian. And
thank you for all
thank
your help.
a pleasure. And thank you all guys for listening to the PublishU podcast featuring the real life stories like Ian's from around the world. If you're interested in becoming an author like Ian has, please visit our website, www.publish, the letter U, publishu.com. And if you enjoyed this broadcast, make sure you subscribe for more. Thank you so much for joining us, and goodbye for now.